Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. I said I wasn't going to put up another video for a couple of days, but I got another email from Randy Almond. This is the chap in Texas, and I mentioned the other day Texas, USA, because there is actually a Texas in Scotland, as there is a Perth in Scotland and a Perth in Australia. Anyway, and he was asking me basically about the panels. He very kindly sent me some pictures of the car he has and the rotisserie he has, and I mentioned to him it'd be really good if we could see a YouTube video on it, and I think he's going to use a different site, and I'll keep you informed on that when he does. But out of interest's sake, I really would like you to have a look at this video that he's put up. It's from about 9 months ago, and if you type in Randy Almond, that's A-L-M-A-N-D, Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, or rotisserie classic mini, and have a look at this rotisserie that he's got. Now, from what I can see of it, it's a fairly standard one that you can get, which will fit any monocoque American shell, mostly I would imagine, which normally would fit on the bumper bracketry. For any monocoque car, I think the actual, where he got it from was bestbuyautoequipment.com, but I'm sure I've seen, what's the company that makes, it'll come to me in a second, they're quite a common one, and what they do is they have hydraulic rams on each end so that you can lower the whole frame together, or you can pump it up and lower it down, so you get either the balance right, or you can have it higher because of the width of the car to turn it. And he's developed it so that it will fit a Mini, and if he has done it himself or he's had it done, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but the quality of the work and the way it's been done is really good. It far exceeds the ones that they're selling in the UK, which are quite thin, really. In fact, the one I've got, I'm going to beef up and use the tubular, as I've already said. But Randy was asking me about the panels, and basically the way to do it, I'm going to bring you in now and show you this inner wing, which is, excuse me for the bad, hopefully it'll come in, I'll find it a bit faster there. So hopefully you can see that heritage sticker that's on it. And this is common with heritage, and you can see, hopefully my head's not going to be in the way, but you can see quite clearly, and it says heritage, and it has the proper number on it and so on. So it's this dark blue with a yellow. Normally what you'll get is a white sticker with Magnum on it, or M-Machine, whatever. And as I said, M-Machine's very good stuff, but that's the sticker you should be looking for. The other way to tell if there is no sticker on it is, one is you will find the sheet steel seems to be thicker, much thicker in the Heritage. I say much, we're talking a few thousandths of an inch, but it seems to be much thicker in a Heritage panel. Now, in this particular case, I'll bring you back out for just a second. In this particular case, you may or may not notice, which you probably will, this is Heritage, this is Heritage, and most of the parts are gone out. But this scuttle panel, this front scuttle panel, is from Magnum. And as much as I've complained about how bad the Magnum are, you know, I have to get this in perspective. I'm no expert in minis. You know, I'm somebody that likes to do it. I like to do the work as professional as I can and as neat and possible as I can. But this particular front scuttle was already bought for the car, and more importantly, the number was stamped back in it here, because I need that to get it registered in Austria. And going through that process of trying to get this number back in it was a real problem if I bought a Heritage one, which is what I wanted to do. So we've had to do a lot of work, probably 5-6 times more work than we would have done if it had been a Heritage panel, and this is why I'm so against them. And I do understand people are on a budget, that, you know, they cost a lot more money, but all I can tell you is your time will be better used in something else than it will in messing around with these panels. These corners were extremely difficult to get right. and they are very bad in the Magnum ones, whereas the Heritage ones fit much better. But as I said, this was already numbered in here, and you know, I had the part. I thought, well, we'll make do with it, and you know, it sits okay, but it's not as good as a Heritage one. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But we did use it. We had to fettle it a lot to get it to this position, and obviously there's still a lot of lead loading on these corners to do. But another way to check this, one of the things you'll find with the Heritage stuff, you'll find it's quite a shiny finish on it, and it's a very good finish on it. You can actually basically scratch this back with 3M Scotch wool, and you can really start prepare the surface for priming. Whereas with this, it's very, very thin. So this is more, the Heritage stuff is very much more shinier. That's not just but you can tell the thickness of the material. And the Magnum or the non-Heritage stuff will be very matte black and very thin. And the way you can test this is you can actually take, this is for instance a 120, and I can clean this edge just very quickly, and within seconds it's down to the bare metal. Whereas with a Heritage, it takes quite a lot longer. You can just feel the difference when you start to clean it. I'm doing this just for example. I wouldn't normally go around in a circle, but you can see it's still, all it's done is it matted it for the same time. So this is how you can tell. The other thing to look for with the difference between one panel and another is the way the corners are formed or the way they're stamped. And like I said before, you know, you have to remember that the machinery, even that Heritage have, has been worked to death. I mean, millions of minis were made, and I can guarantee you none of them are from the original, and so they've had to remake parts for it. The profile of the dish or the stamp has been worn or broken or cracked, and it's been welded, so they won't be 100%. It's just not possible to do it. But this is the thing to look for. If you take one panel of the same type and put them together, the difference just jumps out at you. You can see the difference. But the biggest problem with them is that the profiles are not as well stamped as they are with Heritage. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Unfortunately, I don't have a floor pan to show you, but you can look at it. Normally, what happens is Magnum tend to make stuff for quick fixes, i.e., floor panels which plop in on top of the already rusted panel, whereas Heritage make a complete floor panel or kickboards or sorry, the heel board or center pack or whatever. They make them to completely repair the car properly, as opposed to a quick fix. So don't get me wrong, I've used whatever I could in the past. I've been in the same situation where money's tight, you know, and you do what you have to do to keep the car on the road. But I do believe if you're building a car and you intend to keep it, you know, even if you're going to sell it, you will definitely get your money back from the Magnum, from the Heritage panels, as opposed to the Magnum. It will make the buyer or the seller more easier to sell, knowing that there is the proper panels in it, and you can tell straight away. So for your less hassle, go for the better parts. You know, it's like, would you at home, would you rather drink one bottle of good wine or 3 bottles of crap? And it's the same thing with the panels. Would you rather have 3 or 4 times more hassle with the panel or put it on? Even the Heritage panels need fettling, and the amount of fettling you have to do is much more from a Magnum panel to this. I'm not being derogatory. They made these panels for a reason, to put the cars back on the road cheaply, and for what they were, they did the job. But we all know what overseals or cover seals do. They just rot the car even more. So that was just a quick video just to go over this. But this is what to look for. Look for the badges. If they're not there, look at the quality of the stampings. If you see it's black matte as opposed to shiny, and the difference in the thickness, and try the rub down test. Try on 20, 80 is even better. Just put 80 on it and you see how quick this will come off compared to a Heritage panel. So thanks for watching in. Sorry to labour this point, but I wanted to talk about Randy, but please look in on this website. He's going to give me the new website. He did tell me on an email, I've forgotten what it is, but I will let you know when he's got it up, because he's going to actually do the restoration. And as I said to you, Randy, there's always Cole with Classic Mini DIY, who's great, but he doesn't do a lot of body work, and I understand why you're trying to get some help. But you know, it's a big community out there with minis, and everybody will help you. They're not here to hinder, they're here to help. So you know, if we can help in any way, or I can't, or whatever, there's plenty of people I can pass you on to. But like I said, have a look at this jig that he's got, because it's been made, as I said, for monocoque construction, which in America, or even in the UK, most monocoque construction has at least some kind of box section in it, or chassis style leg, so they're much stronger. Unfortunately, the Mini doesn't have that. The Mini has basically ribbed sections like in the floor, and these ribbed sections are there to give it rigidity, but there isn't any box sections in it whatsoever, or any, apart from possibly that front bulkhead, there's no real ribbed sections to hold it up. So this is why it's so important. If you're going to do, as you say, the front, do one inner wing and then the other. Don't do them both at the same time. And if with your jig, put something through the center, or brace it up as you've proposed, which is the way to go. If you take something out, replace it, rather than take a bunch out and then start replacing. That's not the way to go. Take a piece out, if it's possible, take a piece out. Not always possible, because you have to get in behind it, but if you can, take one piece out, repair it, one piece out, repair it, and be methodical about it, and you can do it side by side. With the inner wings, obviously you have to put them both on to set up the front, but that can be done easily as long as you put something underneath, like a trellis, because you have to get to the wings. Okay, so thanks for watching in, and as I said, hopefully it's just a little short video, but it'll help out. So all the best, Randy, and looking forward to seeing your restoration vlogs. Take care, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and bye for now. Bye.